welcome to Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a lot of items that will be available in April's Polish Pickup Shop. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. That lets me know you enjoy seeing my preview of items that will be available in this month's PPU shop. And if you haven't already subscribed, I really hope you'll consider it. Every week I upload new live swatching videos. So this month's Polish Pickup theme is the periodic table of elements. This month's shop is going to open on April 1st at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and it will be open through April 4th. I feel like 97% of people watching this video already know how Polish Pickup works, but in case you don't, it's a monthly collaboration between a bunch of indie makers, and they come together each month under a common theme and create a limited edition product. They have polish, but also wax, nail care, hand care, body care, jewelry, and lots more stuff. It's really fun. I'll leave some extra details down in the description box in case you're a first-time shopper and you're looking for tips. I'll also list down there links to the Polish Pickup site and all of their social media. All right, we have around 30 products to look at today, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches.
All right, so as you can probably tell, unfortunately, I'm under the weather right now. It's been like this for a week. There's no end in sight, so the show must go on. If it's driving you bananas listening to my voice like this, I don't know, some of my students at school kind of like it, then I recommend you watch this video on mute because we're doing it. So this first polish is called Fair Maiden Polish. It's called Heart of Glass, and it's inspired by europium sulfate. It's described as being a bright magenta jelly base filled with violet to red to gold iridescent flakes and hollow flakes. This one's going to retail for $12, and it will not have a cap. On application, this one had a gorgeous, squishy, juicy jelly base. It was very sheer on that first coat, but built up to opacity for me in 3 coats. And I think 3 coats is going to suit most people. It's filled with those gorgeous flakes, and the iridescence I find shows up really well against the red. Sometimes red kind of conceals the elements inside of the polishes, but this one I found that they really popped well against the base. The description described this as a magenta, but I personally would have described it as being more of a red with maybe some pink or orange undertones. Really beautiful. So here's what 3 coats of Heart of Glass looks like with a glossy top coat. Here in my studio lighting, you can really see that gorgeous shift to gold. You can also see some of the purpley pink shift, and then of course the red too. And then here's what it looked like in some different indoor lighting, and here you can really see those gorgeous shifts. My goodness, this one reminded me of a sunset. Oh my gosh. But we're not done. I wanted to show it off in some sunlight as well, so here's what that looks like. And in that bright natural light, you just get all of the squishiness and then some sparkle from the hollow flakes. This polish is definitely one of my top picks from this month. I highly recommend it. Pictured are 3 coats of Fair Maiden Polish Heart of Glass with a glossy top coat. Up next, we have a stunning yellow shade. I will go ahead and tell you, the makers gave us a beautiful rainbow of colors this month. I am so excited about it. This gorgeous yellow comes from Chloride the Lightning. It's called Element 79, and it is inspired by gold. It's described as being a gold reflective glitter polish with a yellow base and mermaid flakes. The price is going to be $13.50, and it will be capped at 550 bottles. Oh, I about had a meltdown when I unpackaged this product. It is stunning. It reminded me so much of XOXO from Chloride the Lightning's Valentine's Day collection, where it had the red base and the red reflective glitters. This one has a yellow base, yellow or gold reflective glitters. I just find that when they're the same color, oh my gosh, it's just beautifully vibrant. This also had an incredible formula. It is on the thicker side, so I would recommend going in for thin coats. I stopped at 2 because it did build up really quickly. It was starting to get a little bit chunky. That's how those reflective glitters just are. And in 2 coats, I could see a little bit of nail line, but it did not bother me. If you've got longer nails, maybe you'd want to go in for 3. Because of those reflective glitters, you're going to want to smooth them out with a glitter smoother of some kind. I will be showing you one of those later in the video, and it's going to be difficult to remove. So here's what Element 79 looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat in the sunlight. Check out that from the glitter, from the flakes, the beautiful yellow. Oh my gosh, going into summer, this is everything. So, so stunning. And here's what it looks like under flashlight. Be still my heart. If this doesn't sell out, I'm going to be completely shocked. It's gorgeous. Highly, highly recommend. Another top pick for this month. Pictured are 2 coats of Element 79 from Coloristic Carol with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. And here's what it looks like under flashlight. Up next from Paradox Polish, we have an incredibly unique shade. This one's called Avogadro's Number, and it's described as being a pale yellow crelly with purple flakes, hollow flakes, scattered hollow, silver shimmer, and purple matte glitter. It's going to retail for $13. There will not be a cap, and this is inspired by the maker's chemistry minor. She has a minor degree in chemistry, and she loves figuring out the atomic mass in each element in the periodic table by using Avogadro's number. Yeah, I'm not a science person, so I do apologize for any and all mispronunciations that are going to take place in this video. I'm sure there will be several. So the base of this is a really cool like mix between green and yellow. I have nothing like this in my collection. The addition of the purple and the silver and the flakes, there's just a lot going on. Somehow it all works together so well, and none of it overpowers that really unique base color. This had a beautiful formula. It was super smooth and easy to work with. I found that I wanted 3 coats to completely get rid of that nail line, but if you've got shorter nails, I think you could get away with 2 for this one. Because of the glitters in here, it is going to be a little bit difficult to remove, but it actually didn't dry down super textured. I think you'd be fine with a glossy top coat. Just to be on the safe side though, I did add a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat on top of those 3 coats, and here's what that looks like. Oh gosh, just all the elements in here, and I think you'll be able to see those flakies even better in my swatch photos here in just a second, but they just play so well together. And here's what it looks like at light. I feel like in natural lighting, it definitely pulls a little bit more yellow, and then in indoor lighting, and it could just be on my skin tone, it looked a little bit more green leaning. Really beautiful shade. Pictured are 3 coats of Avogadro's Number from Paradox Polish with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Up next, we have a couple IPU items from Unicorn Magic. This first one is their Deluxe Coconut Milk Hand Cream scented in Neptunium, which is such a cute name. This is going to retail for $8.50. It's a 2-ounce jar and will be capped at 200. So this is a very nourishing hand cream. If you've used their Deluxe Triple Butter Hand Lotion before, this is a little bit more fluid. It's not quite as thick, which makes it really great for these warmer months, but it's still very rich and nourishing. It's got ingredients like lactic acid that help remove the dead skin cells. It's a chemical exfoliant, and also has vitamin C, which helps brighten and increase elasticity. The scent notes for this, it's got top notes of sea salt, ocean mist, and aquatic florals, blended with base notes of sea greenery, fresh air, soft musk, and sandalwood. It smells definitely very beachy, light. I get a strong sense of those florals. So if you love floral scents, if you like fresh scents, I think this is the perfect marriage between the two. I think you're going to be a big fan of this product. On application, I absolutely loved how this sunk into my skin. It left me feeling hydrated without feeling greasy or weighed down. The ingredients are all absolutely wonderful. Lots of nourishing butters and oils. It does contain lanolin though, so take note of that if you experience sensitivity with that ingredient. The second IPU item that Unicorn Magic Skincare is bringing us is their Deluxe Acetone Additive in the scent Plutonium. It's going to retail for $5.50 for this 1-ounce squeeze bottle and will be capped at 150. If you haven't used Unicorn Magic's acetone additive, I find them to be incredibly effective. They have so many nourishing ingredients: glycerin, jojoba oil, olive oil, argan oil, vitamin E, that help keep the skin around your nails very hydrated as you remove your nail polish. I like that they have a dropper top on top. I find that can have more control of how much I disperse into my bottle of acetone or into my Dappin dish. The notes for this, it's got floral top notes blended with orange blossom and hints of spearmints on top of a bed of musk and patchouli. And this scent is inspired by Supernova by Lush. I get a whole lot of that floral note, and I can smell the spearmint as well. Very appropriate for spring. Moving on to our greens, we do have a couple of those this month. We have Fancy Gloss Beryllium. This one is a thermal that's green when cold, that's what you're seeing in the bottle, and blue when warm. It's packed with blue reflective micro glitters. It's going to retail for $12.50. Will be capped at 400 bottles. So I think the inspiration comes because beryllium is an earth metal. I didn't know that. I did my research. I will say I learned a lot this month from all of these polishes and their inspirations. And this one with the green and blue kind of gives me earthy vibes, like Earth Day vibes. You see it? I see it. This is another one I would not be surprised to see sell out. On application, it was very opaque on that first coat. It is packed with those reflective glitters, so it builds up very quickly. I would definitely go in for thinner coats. I think 2 coats is going to be all most people will need, and yeah, that's going to get you full opacity. Because this has so many reflective glitters in here, it is going to be difficult to remove. I personally like pairing my reflective glitter polishes with peel-off base coats, but you could also soak this one off, and it does dry down to a textured sand-like finish, so I recommend a glitter smoother if you want to. So here's what 2 coats of beryllium looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat in its cold state. It's a bright, beautiful, vibrant green. Oh my goodness. I absolutely loved this shade on me. And I feel like when I truly got it cold, like cold, it was this brighter green. And then there was kind of like an in-between kind of shade too that was a little bit more subdued. And then here's what it looked like in its warm state. It was like a soft teal leaning blue. In other swatchers photos, it looked a little bit more like a sky blue, but this is what it looks like on me. So both states completely beautiful. And here's what it looks like under the flashlight. This was taken when the polish was in its cold state, so we can see the contrast of the green base to the blue reflective glitters. If you are a reflective glitter lover, if you're a thermal lover, I think this polish is a must-have. Pictured are 2 coats of Fancy Gloss Beryllium cold. Here's what it looks like warm. And here's what it looks like under flashlight with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Our next contribution comes from What Addiction. It's called Steel Lovin Hue. It's described as being a turquoise-leaning aqua crelly with hollow micro flakes, Aurora Shimmer, and red gold flakes. It's going to retail for $13 and will be capped at 100 bottles, although that cap, TBA, will be increased potentially, and it's inspired by St. John's Bridge in Portland, Oregon, using the elements of iron and carbon, which creates steel. So this one had strong green undertones, so I thought it would be helpful to see it next to the Fancy Gloss. And at the end of the video, I will do a big swatch wheel of comparisons for all the polishes I shared with you today. It's got a gorgeous base. I love this kind of shade of turquoise, and we get so much contrast from those gorgeous warm tones in the flakes. The base for this is definitely a jelly. It's super squishy and sheer on that first coat, but surprised me with how quickly it built up on the second and then reached full opacity on the third. I think most people are going to want 3 coats for this one to maximize the opacity and also to get that gorgeous, rich turquoise base. So here is what 3 coats of What Addiction Steel Lovin Hue looks like with a glossy top coat. I wouldn't say glitter smoother is needed at all for this polish. It's a really, really gorgeous shade of turquoise. If I look closely, I can still see a little bit of nail line, but honestly, it was not super noticeable. And depending on your lighting situation here, I pulled my hand away from the light. You can see those flakes flash all of the shades of autumn. I see red, I see gold, I see green, copper, absolutely beautiful. Pictured are 3 coats of Steel Lovin Hue from What Addiction with a glossy top coat. And next from Garden Path Lacquers, we have Built to Protect. This one is inspired by the movie The Fifth Element and is described as being a clear base filled with blue and teal metallic microflakes, silver reflective glitter, and red to orange iridescent flakes. It's going to retail for $13 and there will not be a cap for this one. So this is just all of the sparkle you could want in a bottle. If you're in love with reflective glitters. I know it's a very polarizing thing right now, but if you're on team reflective glitter, this I think is a must have. Just the addition of the reflective glitters with the flakes makes for a beautiful, unique polish no matter the lighting. It's gorgeous everywhere. On application, this one did have a clear base, but it was so dense. I don't think it's one you could use as a topper. I got a little too little on my brush there, so I had to go back in for more, but look how full coverage it is on the first coat. That is crazy. I did go in for a little bit too thick of a coat, so I did have a little bit of pulling. That's on me. But I would definitely recommend going in for thin coats for this one. And I think you're not going to have any issue reaching full opacity. It is packed with those glitters and flakes. I definitely would recommend a smoothing top coat for this, and it is going to be very difficult to remove because of all of the glitters. So here's what it looks like in two coats with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Like, how gorgeous is this? There's so many colors, even with a clear base. There's so many colors, and it's just so sparkly. Gorgeous. And here is what it looks like under flashlight. I love that under flashlight you can still see all the color from the metallic and iridescent flakes. Just stunning. Pictured are two coats of Garden Path Lacquers Built to Protect with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. And here's what it looks like under flashlight. So, Polish Pickup actually is celebrating their 5th anniversary this month. Yay! Happy anniversary to Polish Pickup. That's amazing. And so, as a special kind of thing, they had some anniversary re releases for makers who originally were part of the initial Polish Pickup team. And that includes Garden Path Lacquers. This is Good Morning Lollipop 2.0. This was their very first Polish Pickup contribution under the brand Lollipop Posse Lacquer, and it's described as being a pastel turquoise base filled with pink to purple Aurora Shimmer and pink shifting iridescent flakes. It's going to be priced at $13 and will not have a cap. On application, this one had a much creamier base than I was expecting. It was very smooth and easy to work with, and you can see lots and lots of that shimmer, and those flakies came out even on the first coat. This one actually started building up for me really well on the second coat. I'm pretty sure I did decide to go in for 3, but if you've got shorter nails, I think you could probably get away with 2 for this one. I did just have a little bit of visible nail line, so I wanted to go in for that third. What a gorgeous base color. So pretty. So here is what 3 coats of Garden Path Lacquer Good Morning Lollipop 2.0 looks like with a glossy top coat. Beautiful, smooth, even coverage. You can see even though it has a creamier base, there's no patchiness, and you get just kind of a subtle glow from that shimmer and flakies. I think this kind of color, this aqua-y turquoise, is just completely brilliant in spring and summer, so I can't wait to put this one on again. Pictured are 3 coats of Garden Path Lacquers Good Morning Lollipop 2.0 with a glossy top coat. Our next contribution comes from Indie Polish by Patty Lopez. Mr. White is inspired by Walter White of the Breaking Bad TV series. Love that fun take on this theme, and is described as being a teal base with Aurora Shimmer and blue reflective glitter. It's going to be priced at $13 and capped at 200 bottles. Another one, unfortunately, I wouldn't be too surprised to see sell out. These polishes, y'all, with the lower caps, if you like them, make sure you're ready to shop at 11 a.m. Eastern time so you don't miss out. So I love when I see blue and gold together in a polish, and this one is so satisfying for me. The Aurora Shimmer shines a beautiful gold and bright lighting, and then in lower lighting, you can see some other shifts there too. On application, this one had an almost clear base. It says it's teal, but it is just very lightly pigmented. So most of the color you get is from the Aurora Shimmer and the reflective glitter. I found that I needed 3 coats to build this one to full opacity, and I was surprised that it built up so quickly. Maybe some of you could get away with 2 coats, but I think most people are going to want 3. Because of the reflective glitters, removal is going to be difficult. I would recommend soaking it off or using a peel off base coat, and it's going to dry textured. So I added a glitter smoother. So here's what Mr. White looks like with that glitter smoother and a glossy top coat in 3 coats. Again, the gold, I see a shift to green too, with the blue, with the teal, is so beautiful, light and soft, and perfect as we transition from spring into summer if you're a seasonal polish wearer like I am. And here's what Mr. White looks like under flashlight. Ooh, golly. I was not expecting this strong of a punch from those blue reflective glitters. And I love we can still see all of that Aurora Shimmer under flashlight as well. Pictured are 3 coats of Mr. White from Indie Polish by Patty Lopez with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. And here's what it looks like under flashlight. Our next contribution unfortunately just came in like a couple days ago, so I did not have time to do full swatches for this, but I did want to show you this beautiful polish and how it applied. It is gorgeous. It comes from DRK Nails and it's called H.O.H. It's going to retail for $13 and will be capped at 400 bottles. And it's described as being a glitter bomb with a blue lake jelly base, turquoise reflective glitter, ultra bright iridescent flakes, and more. I don't know what the more is, but it's gorgeous. This one, again, is going to retail for $13 and will be capped at 400 bottles. So this is stunning. It's so bright. It definitely gives me like oceanic poolside vibes. Beautiful. It's got a stunning light jelly base. It's packed with that reflective glitter. It's got lots of those iridescent flakes in there as well. That just gives this polish beautiful sparkle. It built up to opacity for me in 3 coats. If you've got longer nails, you may still see some visible nail line in 3 coats, so you might want to pair it with a blurring base coat or add another coat. But look how bright this shade is. Oh, it's so fun. Because of the reflective glitters, it's going to be difficult to remove and it's going to dry down textured. So I recommend a smoothing top coat. So that's 3 coats of DRK Nails H.O.H. Coming to the IPU shop this month from DRK Nails is their Magic Effect Magnetic Top Coat. I'm no stranger to this product. I've used it for over a year now, and it is a game changer for any magnetic nail polish that is a little tricky to use. Some nail polishes that are magnetize no problem. Some just dry down way too fast before I have a chance to apply my magnet, and then it's like I don't get that pull at all. This gives you a second chance with those kind of polishes. It's a really wet top coat, so basically you apply it on top of your magnetic nail polish, you go right in with your magnet, and it re-moistens that top layer so that you can get the magnetic pull that you're looking for. It has been a game changer for me with those trickier magnetic polishes. I don't have cap or pricing info for this, but I am so happy to have another bottle of this because this is something I'm just going to keep in stock for me at all times. If you're a magnetic polish lover, I definitely recommend giving this a try. Up next from Dom Nail Polish, we have Don't Pee in the Pool. This one is described as being a blue jelly with metallic blue, holographic silver, and white glitters. It's going to retail for $13. It will be capped at 300 bottles, and this was inspired by the element chlorine. And fun fact, the maker Angie left us. She said the chlorine scent, quote unquote, is actually a sign that there's a ton of pee in the pool. The smell comes from a chemical reaction between chlorine and pee. It creates a gas called trichloramine, which can be an eye and skin irritant. So don't pee in the pool. And now suddenly I never want to go swimming again. So thanks, Angie. This one had a gorgeous jelly base. It is so packed with glitters, the reflective glitters, the hex glitters. There's a lot of glitter in here. So I strongly recommend going in for those thin coats and building it up in 3. However, if you're feeling adventurous, you could always go in for 2 thicker coats. Just know it's going to take longer dry time. So this one built up really beautifully though in that second coat. We got a much stronger blue base closer to what we saw in the bottle, but it did reach full opacity for me in 3 coats. As you can see, tons of those glitters came out. This one definitely reminds me of pool water. And now knowing the inspiration and the fun fact, I'll never see this polish the same way again. So here is what 3 coats of Don't Pee in the Pool looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. I would say a glitter smoother is essential for this one. It dries down super textured because of the hex glitters, because of the reflective glitters. And I also would not recommend trying to scrub this off. Pair it with a peel off base coat or soak it off. And here is what it looks like under the flashlight. I love all of the different components in here. The blue glitters, the white glitters with the reflective glitters. It just gives this polish a lot of depth and interest, again, no matter the lighting situation. I'm loving these reflectives that have something extra. Pictured are 3 coats of Dom nail polish, Don't Pee in the Pool with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. And here's what it looks like under flashlight. Continuing with our blues, we have something a little darker. Penelope Luz brings us Osmium, which is inspired by an illustration of the osmium element, which by the way is like a fun bluey silver metal. It's really cool looking. This is described as being a dark blue with a bright blue shimmer and silver reflective glitter. This is going to be priced at $13 and will be capped at 700 bottles. This is a fun combination. Just anytime I see a dark blue base with a silver element, I think night sky, and the addition of the gorgeous blue shimmer definitely intensifies that effect. I can see this with some really cool like galaxy nail art. So although this one had a jelly base, it was very pigmented on that first coat. I didn't experience any staining, but it's one that I would recommend a blurring base coat for because for a jelly, it's pretty intense. It built up well for me. I reached full opacity in 2 coats, but I did find that adding a third coat made the base color just slightly darker. I think for my swatch video and photos, I did just 2, but you can see here what it looks like in 3. I think it's a little closer to what you see in the bottle. It's like a rich, beautiful, dark, almost navy shade. So because of the reflective glitters, and I sound like a broken record, I'm sorry, but because of those reflective glitters, you're going to want something to smooth it out, a glitter smoother of some kind, and it's going to be tough to remove. So here's what 2 coats of osmium looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Really sparkly. I love the addition of the blue shimmer. I find it really brightens up that base color. And then here is what osmium looks like under a flashlight. I mean, I can't look at this and not see outer space. Just the twinkle reminds me of the stars and the gorgeous shimmer. Oh, this one is fantastic. Pictured are 2 coats of osmium from Penelope Luz with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. And here's what it looks like under flashlight. Kind of moving on to our purples now. This month, Wildflower Lacquer brings us Stolen Flame, and it's described as being a deep violet jelly base packed with blue to violet crystal flakes and scattered holographic flakes. This is going to retail for $13, and hallelujah, it will not have a cap. I feel like Wildflower has had some caps lately, and I'm so happy to see this one uncapped because it's one of my top picks this month. I mean, it's so much so that I'm thinking of getting a backup bottle. It's on my list of favorite polishes for 2022. Yeah, I guess you could say I like it. On application, I was blown away by how pigmented this was. Another one I really recommend pairing with a base coat to prevent staining. But honestly, a lot of the color comes from all of those flakies in here. I mean, it is jam packed with those gorgeous blue flakes. It built up to opacity for me in 2 thin-ish coats. I don't see anyone needing 3. Some people may even be good at 1. Because of all those flakies, you may want to consider pairing this with a smoothing top coat, although I did not for my photos or my video. Gosh. So here's what 2 coats of Stolen Flame looks like. And you can see the shift to purple there, to blue. Oh, this just glows off the nail. I wanted to put it on and never take it off. It is that gorgeous. And when I love a polish and when the weather cooperates, I have to give it a tour and check it out in every lighting situation. So here is what Stolen Flame looks like out in the sun. You can see just how reflective and bright this polish is. It is so incredibly gorgeous, so gorgeous. And then here's another look at it in another lighting situation. This is in some lower indoor lighting or maybe lower outdoor lighting, I'm not sure. And again, we just see some incredible shift from that blue to purple. And so because of that shift and because this is flaky goodness, I had to add a matte top coat. I know, I couldn't get enough of this one. And here's what that looks like. It's gorgeous matte as well. I'm a glossy girl, so I prefer it glossy, but it does look really, really cool matte. Pictured are 2 coats of Wildflower Lacquer Stolen Flame with a glossy top coat. And next from Night Owl Lacquer, we have Shelia, which is described as being a periwinkle filled with iridescent purple to pink to gold to green to blue shifting shimmer. This is going to retail for $13. There will be no cap, and it's inspired by calcium and abalone shells. So this one is so glowy. Lots of different shifts in here. In the bright lighting, you get a lot of the purple and the blue, but then in lower lighting, you can see the shifts to green and pink and gold as well. And I have to commend Night Owl Lacquer because I just feel like they do it all. They do glitter, they do shimmers, they do flakies, they do creams, and they do it all amazingly. Like, I feel like most makers focus on one finish or a couple finishes. They do everything and they always impress me. So I love that. On application, you can see this one was slightly sheer on that first coat, but it did build up really well for me in 3 coats. Depending on your nail length, maybe you can get away with 2, but I felt like 3 coats got me the depth of color that I saw in the bottle. It also gives you a little bit more shift in that shimmer, I think. Look how stunning. On application, there were maybe a little bit of brush strokes, but those definitely disappeared when this dried down. It's completely beautiful. So here's what Shelia looks like built up in 3 coats with a glossy top coat and some bright indoor studio lighting. We get that gorgeous, brilliant, bright purple base accented by the beautiful pink shimmer. This has a lot of shimmer in it and it's so shifty and bright. I almost felt like it must be like multi-chrome shimmer. And then here is what it looks like pulled away from the lighting. So in direct lighting, we see the shift to gold and green. This one was stunning. Pictured are 3 coats of Shelia from Night Owl Lacquer with a glossy top coat. We have another stunning purple from KB Shimmer this month. It's called Grand Finale, and it's described as having a soft, red-leaning violet base filled with hollow flakes, as well as a near metallic shimmer that shifts from gold to copper to bronze. This is going to retail for $11. It's not going to have a cap, and it's inspired by fireworks. Oh gosh, I fell in love with this one instantly as soon as I saw it. The gorgeous mid-toned purple base, the stunning intense gold shimmer that shifts depending on the lighting and the hollow. I mean, what else do I want? This one was beautiful. And not only was it stunning on the bottle, it applied wonderfully. I've come to expect that from KB Shimmer. This one was very opaque on that first coat, but I do think most people are going to want 2 coats to reach full opacity. I don't really see anyone needing more than 2 coats for this polish. Maybe if you've got very, very long nails, but I think 2 coats will suit most people. This one had some brush strokes on application, but they did disappear completely when it dried down. So here's what 2 coats of Grand Finale looks like with a glossy top coat in my studio lighting. The shifts from gold to copper are so brilliant, and the shimmer is very attention grabbing. Love the base color as well. And here's what it looks like out in some sunlight. I found that in the brighter lighting, the sun, that the shimmer just kind of took over. And at certain angles, it looked like it was not a purple polish, but a gold polish, maybe even like white gold in certain lightings. It was stunning. Pictured are 2 coats of KB Shimmer Grand Finale with a glossy top coat. KB Shimmer also brings us a wonderful sugar scrub to the IPU shop this month. This is in the scent Sweet Sangria. It's going to retail for $10. There will not be a cap. And this sugar scrub scent notes, it has a sweet, fruity blend as refreshing as a glass of sangria. It's got notes of grape, tart berry, deep wine notes, hints of orange, black plum, and pineapple that'll help you imagine a day relaxing with family and friends. So if you haven't used KB Shimmer Sugar Scrubs before, they are one of my absolute favorites, not only for manicure, but I use them every time I do a pedicure as well. They slough off any dead skin and leave your skin feeling smooth, hydrated, and nourished. It's got lots of wonderful ingredients: olive oil, castor seed oil, cocoa seed butter, shea butter that not only exfoliate but leave your skin feeling hydrated. So definitely love this product, and the scent is delicious. Totally spot on for sangria. And next from Noodles Nail Polish, we have Hydrogen in the Sky. This one is described as being a purple crelly with color shifting flakes in shades of purple, pink, gold, copper, and green. It's got pink, lavender, and periwinkle matte glitters, pink and yellow iridescent glitters, and a touch of fine gold hollow glitter. This is going to retail for $12. There will not be a cap, and this is inspired by the element hydrogen. The color is inspired by a photo of hot air balloons against a sunset. Oh my stars, this has so many cool things in it. It's like my eyes don't even know what to look at. Between the hollow glitter, the iridescent glitters, the matte glitters, and then all of those shifty flakes, I knew it was love as soon as I laid eyes on this polish, especially for this time of year. So on application, this one was very sheer on that first coat. It has a very lightly pigmented jelly base. We get lots of those glitters and flakes though on the first coat. Initially, I was a little concerned this one wouldn't build up to opacity, but you can see here on the second coat, we get a lot more of that gorgeous periwinkle type base. And then on the third coat, I did reach very close to full opacity. If I looked closely, I could see my nail line, but I do think that all of those flakes and glitters help conceal it quite a bit. Because of the glitters, this one is going to dry down textured, so I would recommend a glitter smoother, and it's also going to be a little bit difficult to remove. So here's what 3 coats looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat in some lower outdoor lighting. Oh, the flakes, they are just so beautiful in this purple base, and the extra sparkle, oh, there's the sun, added by the hollow. This one is a stunner, so beautiful. Pictured are 3 coats of Noodles Nail Polish Hydrogen in the Sky with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. The final purple I have to share with you this month comes from Cuticula, and it's called Illuminations. It is described as being a lilac silver holographic base with pink to gold shifting shimmer, purple metallic flakes, and platinum silver flakes. It's going to retail for $13 and will be capped at 600 bottles, and it's inspired by the elements that make the different colors in fireworks. So, wow. Cuticula just nails it every time with their flaky polishes. Honestly, with all their polishes, I'm a huge fan. But this one is stunning. The soft lilac base, I think if you're, again, a seasonal polish wearer, which I know not everyone is, just makes this one perfect for this time of year, transitioning from winter into spring, because it has that cold, chilly iciness to it, but then it still has so much bright and freshness to it from the pink and purple. As you can see, the base color of this is almost clear. It really builds up quickly on that second coat, but I needed 3 to build it to full opacity. And all of the color you're seeing in the nails are coming from those incredible flakes and shimmer. It's out of this world. So metallic and shiny, and just, I think, really did a great job putting fireworks into a bottle of polish. So here's what 3 coats looks like with a glossy top coat and some sunlight. You can see that outdoors that hollow really pops, and man, that shimmer and those flakes look fantastic too. This is another top pick for me this month. I highly, highly recommend. Pictured are 3 coats of Illuminations from Cuticula with a glossy top coat. Up next from Heather's Hues, we have Iodine and Dash. This is described as being a hot pink to violet solar polish filled with orange to gold iridescent flakes and pink to orange to gold shimmer. This is going to retail for $12.50. There will not be a cap, and this is inspired by the beautiful colors that iodine puts off when burning. So I got so excited. I almost said I got thrilled when I saw this polish. You all know I love a good pink. I feel like we haven't been getting very many of them lately. I'm hoping the warm weather will change that. But this one just set my soul on fire. It's so bright, so fun, and just makes me crave the sunshine. On application, this one was quite thick and a lot creamier than I was expecting. I'm not sure if it's because the flakes were so large or if it's because it's a solar polish, because some solar polishes I've used before have been on the thicker side, especially when they have those larger elements like flakes inside of them. And you can see this one had just massive flakes. Sorry, by the way, that the color is freaking out my camera. You'll be able to see what it really looks like here in just a second. But yeah, because this one was a little bit thicker, I did have to be a little bit careful with application just so that it didn't build up too quickly, so I didn't have any dragging. Had to redip my polish, my brush into my bottle a few times, and just make sure I had the perfect amount, and the end result was so beautiful. Look at that color. Oh my gosh, so bright. This makes me just want summer right now. So here is what Iodine and Dash looks like, built up in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. You can see that glossy top coat added a lot of shine. This one does dry down quite matte since it is a neon. And yeah, because of the creaminess, the flakes kind of take a back seat to that beautiful base color. They're visible, but they're more visible when this is under the sun and it transitions to this gorgeous purple you see here. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's like a neon purple. Such a fun shade. And I don't think I have any any solars that transition from this gorgeous, bright, happy purple to that neon pink. It's a really fun combination of colors. Definitely a fan. Pictured are 3 coats of Iodine and Dash from Heather's Hues with a glossy top coat indoors. And here's what it looks like in the sunlight with a glossy top coat. And Heather's Hues also brings us a Wits lotion, which stands for What Is This Sorcery lotion, in the scent Tranquil Sleep. It's going to retail for $7.50 and will be capped at 50 tubs. So this is inspired. Are you ready for this? This cracked me up. It's inspired by the tranquil sleep that Heather always got during chemistry class. Oh my gosh, I can't. Okay. So the notes for this lotion, it smells amazing, by the way. It's got top notes of violet, cyclamen, hyacinth, blended with middle notes of juicy cantaloupe, watermelon, jasmine, rose, and lily of the valley, rounded by hints of cedar, amber, and musk. This smells fantastic. On paper, it doesn't sound like something I would like. I don't like rose scents typically. I'm not super into cedar or lily of the valley. I don't like melon. I don't really like florals, but it just smells like, I don't know, like something like an essential oil or something you'd put on before you go to bed to relax you, or something they'd, massage into your temples at the spa. I am in love. If there was a chance that this didn't sell out, I would definitely get a backup, but I won't be greedy. I'll be thankful for what I have, and I hope you can get a tub too because this smells amazing. If you do have nut or seed oil sensitivities, do note that this has sweet almond oil, but otherwise, ingredients are fabulous. This is one of my favorite lotions. Definitely recommend. And we're gonna move on to our neutrals, starting with some beautiful white Crellies. This one comes from Glistening Glow, and it's called Minty Fresh. It is described as being a white-based Crelly loaded with mint and blue metallic flakes. This is inspired by fluorine and its use in toothpaste. It's gonna retail for $13, and there will not be a cap. So I'm not used to seeing these kind of polishes from Glistening Glow, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Jill, if you're watching, I need more. I love the formula of this one. You'll see in just a second. And these kind of dainty, delicate flakes, oh, they are my favorite. They kind of add, I know the base is white, but because of the blue lean to them, they kind of make the base look like a very soft blue in certain lightings. It's very flattering. So on application, this one was so smooth to work with. It was a little bit sheer on that first coat. It takes its time to build up. I got it fully opaque in 3, but it was so worth it. It couldn't have been easier to put on. It basically applied itself, and it did dry down very glossy. No texture either. How pretty is that? Oh, I just love, since the base is so sheer, you get a really cool pond effect with those flakes. So here is what Minty Fresh looks like with a glossy top coat in some sunlight. This polish is just too fun. And honestly, I could see myself wearing it year round, spring, summer, maybe not fall, but winter for sure. It's a gorgeous shade. Another one that I highly recommend. Pictured are 3 coats of Minty Fresh from Glistening Glow. Also coming to the IPU shop from Glistening Glow this month is their glitter grabber. This product, if you are running low or if you've never tried it before, definitely would take advantage of the low shipping cost if you're shopping anyway, and go ahead and grab a bottle of this. If you haven't used it before, basically this is what I recommend using over these more textured polishes, the reflective glitter, any kind of glitter really, or flaky dense polishes. You're just going to want to let them dry completely, add a coat of some kind of glitter smoother like this, the glitter grabber, and then a glossy top coat, and it just gives the polish a beautiful plump finish that you wouldn't get with a coat or 2 of top coat alone. Especially those really dense glitter polishes, they just seem to absorb regular top coat, but this sits on top so nicely and just gives you a beautiful gel-like shine. It's so smooth, makes the polish texture free. I'm a fan. Our next white Crelly is from Pampered Polishes. It's called Zinc. I don't have description or info for this one yet, but I would describe it as being a slightly gray leaning white base with black shreds and platinum flakes. Maybe black flakes, not shreds. I don't have cap or pricing for it yet. If I do get that, I will put it in the description box. But this one, I believe, was inspired by Timberland's last name, the maker, Timberland Zinc. Her last name is Zinc, like the element zinc. When I saw that, I was so excited. I don't know why. But this is a really fun Crelly, and I was so excited to see it from Pampered Polishes. If you haven't tried their Crellys before and you like that finish, you definitely should. They make some of my favorite. So on application, you can see this one was very opaque for a shade with a white base. Lots of those flakes came out no problem, and I actually got really great opacity with this one on the first coat. I found that 2 coats was perfect for me, but if you've got longer nails, you might want 3. Yeah, I was happy with it in 2 coats though, and I love the size of the elements in here. Removal wasn't difficult. It dried down glossy on its own. Really beautiful polish. Here's what it looks like built up in 2 coats with a glossy top coat. It smoothed out just fine with the glossy top coat. I did not need a glitter smoother for this one, and removal was not difficult. And I just love the finished look. I don't know why. It reminds me of like pepper sprinkled into Alfredo sauce, and it's making me hungry. Pictured are 2 coats of zinc from Pampered Polishes with a glossy top coat. Next up from Cupcake Polish, we have Radium Girls. This one's going to retail for $13 and will not have a cap, and it's described as being a very pale, almost white green shade with gold to red to green Aurora Shimmer that glows green in the dark. This one's inspired by the element radium, which was used by thousands of clock decorators, dubbed the Radium Girls, who lost their lives investigating radium power as part of their work. So I put this with the whites because it does have a green lean to it, but I would call it more of like a white polish with a slight green lean. It's definitely green when it glows in the dark, but in most lighting, it looks white to me. And it kind of has a beautiful iridescence to it. And I love the Aurora Shimmer also. So on application, this one had a Crelly-like base. It was actually quite a bit thicker than I was expecting, but I've kind of come to expect that with glow-in-the-dark polishes. Definitely go in for thinner coats on this one, or you might get a little bit of dragging, but I built it to 3 coats and got close to full opacity. I still could see quite a bit of my nail line though. If that bothers you, you might want to pair this one with a blurring base. Here in the regular lighting, you're seeing that that white base almost takes on kind of like a cream color because of the beautiful copperiness of that Aurora Shimmer. So here's what those 3 coats look like built up with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. This one dried down quite gritty, so I found a glitter smoother helpful in giving it some extra shine. And here's what it looks like as it glows in the dark. You can see it dried down just a little bit patchy, but I found that was only visible in the dark. I didn't see the patchiness in regular lighting. So here are 3 coats of Cupcake Polish Radium Girls with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. And here's what it looks like glowing in the dark. Moving on to some more silvery polishes. This beauty comes from Bluebird Lacquer and it's called Chloride the Lightning. It's described as being a shifting green to gold to bright yellow shattered holographic. It's inspired by the green-yellow color of chlorine gas. This one's going to retail for $12.50 and there will not be a cap. So this one didn't have silver in the description, but it's almost like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like a multi-chrome in that certain angles it looks completely silver and then boom, you get a strong punch of that gorgeous yellow, gold, green shift. It's beautiful. I absolutely love Bluebird Lacquer Shattered Hollow Formula. It's probably one of my favorite finishes ever. So I was thrilled with this one, no surprise. Although this one seemed to have had an almost clear base, it just got so much beautiful shimmer and hollow. It built up beautifully for me in 2 coats. If you've got longer nails, you might want 3. I feel like here up close I can see some visible nail line, although in person in 2 coats I really didn't. But yeah, I would say 2 to 3 coats for this one. So here is what it looks like with a glossy top coat and some sunlight. And are you seeing why this is one of my favorite finishes ever? I mean, the hollow is out of this world. So you can see it shift from gold to green. Yep, this one's a stunner. So sparkly. Another one I'd wear any time of year. Yeah, knockout. Love this one. One of my top picks again. Pictured are 2 coats of Bluebird Lacquer Chloride the Lightning with a glossy top coat. Up next from Lynn B Designs, we have the Periodic Table of Elephants. Such a cute name. It's described as being an intensely shifty pink to orange to yellow to green to blue buildable base loaded with silver reflective glitter and hollow shimmer. This will retail for $13 and there will not be a cap. So again, this is another one. It's just got a lot of shifty shimmer and it doesn't really have a base color, but because of all of that silver reflective glitter, it feels like a silver to me. So I wanted to swatch it beside the Bluebird and one more so we could do some comparing at the end. On application, this one was so pretty. It has basically a clear base. All of the color you're seeing is from the shifting shimmer and the reflective glitter. It built up to full opacity for me in 3 coats, although I feel like if you have a less visible nail line than I do, you might be okay in 2 coats. Because of the reflective glitter, this one does dry down kind of gritty and textured, so I recommend a glitter grabber. And I also recommend pairing it with a peel-off base coat or soaking it off. So here's what 3 coats of the periodic table of elephants looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. In some indoor lighting, we see flashes of gold, green. At extreme angles, we can see some orange and blue as well. Really, really beautiful. And then here is what it looks like in flashlight. You can see that under flashlight, the reflective glitter just kind of takes over and makes this into an incredibly shiny, reflective, metallic, silver glitter bomb. It's beautiful. And I love that you can still see the holographic under the flashlight too. I love the hollow with the reflective glitter. Pictured are 3 coats of the periodic table of elephants from Linby Designs with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. Linby Designs is also bringing us a wax melt this month and the scent Molecular. The scent inspiration was the 4 elements of scent. So this wax melt has top notes of Japanese grapefruit, apple, fresh air. It's got mid notes of lily of the valley, jasmine, cantaloupe, rose, lotus blossoms, and then it's got base notes of patchouli, musk, ebony woods, and bamboo. So this smells incredibly interesting. Yeah, I can smell that it's an incredibly complex scent because I pick up a lot of the floral notes as well as the fresh air, but it just has some sweetness to it that I think is coming from the apple. It's not overpowering in any direction. And again, it's got some of those notes that I was a little hesitant about, the patchouli, the rose, all the floral notes, but I really like the scent and I think it is a delicious one as we head into spring. Next, from Rogue Lacquer, we have Rhodium and Roses. That's a lot of R's. This one is described as being a silvery base with intense pink to green to gold shifting shimmer, hollow and platinum reflective glitters, and it's going to retail for $12.50 with no cap. This one's inspired by rhodium, which occurs in platinum, and it's got just a touch of rose with thoughts of rose-toned jewelry in mind. So this one does have a really beautiful soft gray silver base. It's got a lot of sparkle in it from those reflective glitters. And then in the bright lighting, you can see the shimmer is a bright, beautiful, like coppery gold color. And then it shifts in darker lighting. So on application, this one was very opaque, more opaque than I was expecting. I went in for thin coats and got full opacity in 2. If you've got longer nails, maybe you'd want to add a third, but I think most people are going to be good in 2. Because of those reflective glitters, this one does dry down very textured. It's on the grittier side as far as reflective glitters go. And so I definitely recommend a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat, as well as a peel off base coat or soaking it off. So here's what Rhodium and Roses looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. I feel like the base of this is more of a gray than it is a silver. It's a little bit on the muted side and slightly dusty. And you can see some of the shifts there from copper to gold in the shimmer. And then here is what it looks like under flashlight. Wow. So incredibly blinding. I do feel like out of all of the reflective glitter polishes I've tried, the silver reflective glitter pigment has the most punch to it. It's the most intense and you get the most bang for your buck. This one is beautiful. Pictured are 2 coats of Rogue Lacquer Rhodium and Roses with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. And here's what it looks like in the flashlight. This month, Stella Chroma brings us a gorgeous silver as well. This is called the Halogens, and it's described as being a silver holographic base highlighted with metallic flakies of black, purple, and bright pink. This one's going to retail for $13 and will not have a cap. And it's inspired by a group of elements, the halogens, so they renamed it to the Halogens because it has hollow, get it? So initially, I actually grouped this in with the purples. I think all of those purple, pink, red flakies just made me think, like tricked my brain into thinking the base is purple. But if you look really closely, you can see it is definitely silver and hollow. It just has a lot of those flakies in there. On application, Whew, those flakies came out no problem. They are jam-packed in there. We get a good variety in size too. Some are larger, some are smaller. I did find that I needed 3 coats to build this one to full opacity, and it actually, despite having all of those flakies, dried down quite smooth. I think it smoothed out fine with just a glossy top coat. So here is what 3 coats of the Halogen looks like with a glossy top coat and some lower outdoor lighting. Oh my gosh, I had my fingers crossed I could get some sunlight for this one. The weather was not on my side, but regardless of the lighting, this one is stunning. I think it's a really unique polish. If you're into the black, red flakies, this is one you've got to add to your collection. Pictured are 3 coats of the Halogens from Stella Chroma with a glossy top coat. We're going to finish up with a couple of deeper shades. If this video has been helpful for you in deciding what to grab, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Not only does that really support my channel, but it also helps support all of these awesome makers I get to share with you. This polish is from Sassy Sauce, and it is called Elementary, my dear. It's described as being a gold to pink to green to purple 5D magnetic multi-chrome polish loaded with blue to purple to pink shifting chameleon flakes that pop in the background when magnetized. This was inspired by Element 10 Neon, and it's going to retail for $13 with a 300 bottle cap. Yeah, you're probably gasping. I was too when I first magnetized this one. So on application, this one had a lovely formula. I found that it reached full opacity in 2 coats, so I decided to build it up in 2 coats just to hide that nail line and then apply a 3rd coat and magnetize it. When you magnetize, it just reveals all of those incredible chameleon flakes. I was a little slow with my magnet on this round, so this would be a great option to use the DRK Nails magnetic top coat with. I do find that this one dries down quite fast, but luckily on my full hand swatch video and photos, I was able to magnetize quickly so that you can see all of those gorgeous flakes. So here's what Elementary, my dear, looks like built up in 3 coats with a glossy top coat. That ring finger is unmagnetized. The rest are magnetized on the 3rd coat. Oh my goodness. So in direct sunlight, it's like a black base with a pink magnetic line and blue to green to purple shifting flakes. But as you move your hand around, it reveals shifts to like gold to green to pink purple. There are a lot of colors going on in here. I can't even talk. And with that 300 bottle cap, this one is sure to sell out. Pictures are 3 coats of Elementary, my dear, from Sassy Sauce Polish with a glossy top coat. And the final polish I have to share with you today comes from by Danny Viana. It's called B4. It is inspired by beryllium, which can be used as a compound to strengthen metallic bonds, but was also first discovered as a compound in emeralds. Thus the color of this one. So this one's kind of a nod to their beautiful March emerald shade. It's a black jelly base with reflective green glitters. It's going to retail for $13 and will be capped at 500 bottles. On the nail, this one had a really squishy, juicy, jelly black base. You can see that those green reflective glitters are just kind of sprinkled in there. They actually are quite a bit finer than many of the reflective glitters that I've used. So I didn't find that this one was quite as chunky as some of the other reflective glitter polishes that I've tried, and I actually liked that a lot. It made removal a little bit easier, and it also dried down a little bit more smooth, although I did still use a glitter smoother to finish this one off just to get that beautiful plump squishy finish. So here's what 3 coats of B4 looks like with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat. In regular lighting, this one just looks like a black polish with some subtle greeny silver sparkle. I love that. And then it's like you take it under the flashlight and it transforms. That green reflective glitter really pops against that black base, and because the glitters are so fine, you can still really see the base color, which I love. Sometimes those bigger glitters can overwhelm the base, but this one, they really work well together. Pictured are 3 coats of B4 from by Danny Viana with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat, and here's what it looks like under flashlight. So now we're going to finish up by taking a look at all the polishes I shared with you in today's video, swatch side by side in the same order on a swatch wheel. And can we take a second to appreciate the rainbow of colors, because I'm here for the variety. I love it. That first red magenta shade is Fair Maiden polish. The dark gold is from Coloristic Carol. The yellow with the purple glitters is Paradox polish. In its cold state is the Fancy Gloss. Remember, when it's warm, it turns blue. With all those multi-chrome flakies is What Addiction. The reflective glitter with the multi-chrome flakes is Garden Path Lacquers. The more aqua shade with the pink flakes is Garden Path Lacquers as well. There in the center now is Indie Polish by Patty Lopez. With the white hex glitters is Dom Nail Polish. That deep navy is Penelope Luz. And did I just say navy? I meant navy. And then the flaky blue purple is Wildflower Lacquer. The purple with the pink shift is Night Owl Lacquer. The purple with the gold shift is KB Shimmer. The more periwinkle base with the iridescent flakes is Noodles Nail Polish. The lilac silvery shade is Cuticula. And in its sunny state is the Heather's Hues. Remember, that one's a neon pink when it's inside. Now let's take a look at the neutrals, whites, grays, silvers, and blacks. First up, we have Glistening Glows offering with the black flakes is Pampered Polishes. The white with the green lean is Cupcake Polish. In the center now is Bluebird Lacquer. In the center now is Linby Designs. With the orangey rose shift is Rogue Lacquer. With the red and purple flakes is Stella Chroma. The magnetic is Sassy Sauce Polish. And there at the end is by Danny Viana.
So those are all the items I have to share with you this month for polish pickup. Overall, I was so excited about the variety we had this month. I feel like the past few months polish pickup, we've had a lot of similar finishes and colors, but this month I feel like we had a beautiful rainbow and lots of different finishes too, which I love to see. Let me know down in the comments what you're thinking of grabbing, whether I showed it to you in today's video or not. I've got my eye on a few products this month as well, so I will leave my wish list down in the comments too. And in case you're in the mood to see some more beautiful polishes, you should check out some of my recent videos. Last week, I live swatched and reviewed the newest collection from Bee's Knees Lacquer inspired by Laura Olympus. I also recently posted a video sharing all of the polishes that I chose to wear in February. And I live swatched and reviewed the newest collection from KB Shimmer called the Lounge Set. I'll leave all of those videos linked down in the description box so you can check them out. Hopefully this video is helpful for you in deciding what to grab. If it was, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That's super helpful to my channel and to all the makers I get to work with. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!